What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Creators Lunch Table, and we are fired up today because we've got another question that was submitted by one of them.
Yep.
One of the subscribers that are subscribed to this channel. And if you're not a subscriber, it's okay. You can still listen in, but we're at the Creators Lunch Table where what do we do?
Oh, we answer all your questions. We talk about everything YouTube right here at the Creators Lunch Table.
That's it. So pull up a chair, pull it in, and let's get started. So what we're going to do today is we're going to answer another voicemail that came in from our mailbox, our voice mailbox.
And if you want to submit one of those questions, all you got to do is go to speakpipe.com/live video school. Again, that's speakpipe.com/live video school. Come in, submit that message, and take a seat right here at the Creators Lunch Table.
Yeah, and if you're listening right now on the podcast and you're not visually seeing us, because we are on Spotify now,
True.
we are on iTunes, you guys can leave us a comment or a review and let us know what you think of the podcast so far. We haven't done that yet. We haven't promoted the podcast at all. All right, so what do you say? Let's listen in. I'm going to go ahead and press play here. The first one comes in from Jamie, so here we go.
Hey guys, I really appreciate your Creators Lunch Table podcast. I'm a new creator. I've been at it for just over a month now. I really appreciated the documents on hooks. That was just fantastic. My channel name is The Rugged Retiree. And I come up with this from my time before I was retired, and the guys that I worked with, they struggled to be able to retire because they just didn't know what they're going to do with themselves. And when they retired, in my mindset, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. There's a million things to do. How can you not know what you're going to do for retirement? So anyways, my niche is actually composed of 100 different things that I do and things of interest for retirees to do. You know, I could be operating my drone, ATVing, snowboarding, gold panning, spending a weekend at the cabin, operating an old bulldozer. There's just a million things that I do. My question is, how do I not confuse the algorithm? Do I do that in the title, or is there some other way to kind of keep the algorithm on track with what I'm doing?
Okay. First off, Jamie, thanks for tuning in and also sending that in.
Yeah.
I will say I want to go panning gold.
Yeah,
I'm a big Gold Rush fan. I love that show. So I'm going to go pan some gold. So you got my interest. A lot of that stuff sounds cool. Yeah. ATVing, all of that stuff, right? Here's my first question. Who are we helping? Like he said, I'm helping people that don't know what they want to do for retirement, or is it that they don't know if they can retire? If they're thinking about if someone's thinking to themselves, I don't know if I can retire, is it because financially I don't know if I can retire, or is it I don't want to retire because I'm going to have nothing to do? There's two different sides there that I'm hearing. I personally don't know. I don't know this. I haven't done the research. Is there an audience for people that are like, I want to keep working because I don't know what I'm going to do? Is there anybody so my first thing is do you have proof right now? Have you validated that within that niche or niche? I'm sorry. That's how he said it. I say niche because kind of like Gold Rush, like riches are in the niches, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm trying to identify who it is first. And I think that goes for anyone. If you're listening to this right now and you don't know who is your who, you got to figure out who is the who. That's a lot of who's.
There's a lot of who's.
You ever hear of the Who?
No.
The band The Who? You've never heard
of
them?
No, I've heard of them.
You've heard of them?
I couldn't tell you a song.
Are you pretending?
No, I really
you
do.
really have heard of them?
I couldn't tell you a song.
The Who.
Yeah.
No. It's a band. I wasn't a huge fan of The Who. They were before my time, but anyway. So what are we gonna do here?
So I think back to your point of being specific on what part of retirement are we talking? Are we talking where we're looking into retirement and what to do with it? Are we looking at new retirees? Because his name is Retiree. So I would think, is it
Rugged
new retirees?
Retiree.
Because maybe
Shout out.
I would be specifically, I'd look at new retirees and everything that you presented, what I would think I would start with, because like you said, you could confuse the algorithm if you're saying a bunch of different things. Hey, if you're retired, do this. Hey, if you're retired, try this or whatever. Maybe you go, again, start a little broad, but it's still niche down in the fact of how you structure your titles. But I thought something easy, like 5 new things you should try as a newly retired person or something like that.
Or even just after retirement.
Yeah, or after retirement, right? And then like maybe that's when we talk about buckets, right? Maybe you have a couple different buckets. One of them is every week you have a bucket of 5 things you can do in retirement, right? And so it's not like, hey, if you're retired, try ATVing. Instead of saying that in there, because then you're putting ATV in, the next one you're going to be putting whatever, drones, you're going to talk like all these different things, a little too much. But if you have it more of like general, where it's like 5 things you need to try if you're a newly retired guy or whatever, then you do one of those every week and you give 5 things or 3 things or whatever it is every week. That's one of your things. So now you're starting to hit those new retiree people, giving them ideas of what they can do. But again, it's still broad in the fact of I'm not saying specifically what they're going to do until they listen into the content, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to call a timeout though. Because, Jamie's here at the table with us right now. And here's the questions I need to ask Jamie. Okay. Again, this is how we operate here at the Creators Lunch Table, right? So I'm like, hey, Jamie, what's the whole point in you doing this channel? What's the goal behind this? Sounds like you got a lot of free time because you're retired. You're doing all this fun stuff. Why even do it? Well, I want to help people that are, retired to have more fun things to do. Cool. So you know what then? Just do all that stuff. Put videos up. If you get 50 people to watch, you get 50 people to watch. Who cares? If you're doing it because you want to make some money, got a whole nother conversation to have here.
True.
Right?
Very true.
So I'm going to ask you right now, where does this lead? Where does this lead? Where do you see yourself making money? Is Jamie going to say, I want to get to monetization and I want YouTube to pay me the AdSense money? Okay. Sure. What's your goal? How much money are you trying to make?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make $1,000 a month. Okay. You might be able to do it there. Right. But if you're telling me you want to make 5,000 or 10,000, probably not going to do it there. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying the road to get there is going to be hard, and it's also going to be this.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure that there's enough views to allow you to get that.
Yeah. And I think, good point of that. I think you need to take a step back. This is for Jamie specifically, but anyone is talking about, okay, I have an idea about this niche, blah, blah, blah. The first thing is, like you said in the beginning, niche validation, right? We need to validate that niche. And what we mean by that is you need to make sure there is getting enough views on other people that's in your space. Other people are creating content on this. They're getting views. It's not like their videos are only getting 100 views, but you have someone in that niche that, even if it's only one person, that are getting a lot of views on it.
Yeah.
That proves, okay, people are looking into this, right? But if you can't find that, if you search up your niche and you're not getting a lot of views, because here's a big misconception. When someone starts a YouTube channel, they think, oh, I can't talk about gardening because there's a million gardening channels. I can't do it. Not true. Not true. There's not, a lot of people say everything's oversaturated, okay? Can there be oversaturation? Absolutely. But is there ways and angles into each niche? Absolutely, right?
Of course.
Us, for example, right? We just started this new channel on YouTube content, right? And how to grow on YouTube and all this. Are we the first channel to ever do that? No. Is it saturated? Absolutely.
But did I doubt that?
100%. But that's because it took us time to find the angle in.
Exactly.
Okay? So when we started, it was the same way. We had to validate the niche, right? We knew it was going to get the views, but how can we put ourselves in there? Because if we're just saying broad topics like how to get more views on YouTube, why are they going to listen to us over someone that's got, someone like Think Media has got 3 million subscribers, right? Why are they going to pick us, right? When you find your angle into it, which ours was really focusing on small creators or over 40 content creators that are trying to grow on YouTube. Once we found that niche, we call it a sub niche, inside of the main niche, then we started getting some traction. We also, one thing we talk about is proof and being able to, give that authority piece. So we did that with the other channel. We didn't just start talking about YouTube. Hey, this is how you grow on YouTube. And we've never done it before. Right. We've done this on multiple channels.
Well, back to Jamie. So so like he doesn't really need to have authority.
No.
Although
he needs to show what he's doing in retirement.
Yes, he needs to prove to people like, hey, I'm gold panning. Hey, I'm snowboarding. Hey, I'm skiing. What are you doing? Kind of thing. Like you got to prove that you're doing that stuff. But here's the idea that I had. All right. Again, I'm trying to imagine that Jamie's right here. Right. And I'm like, okay, here's an idea. What if we did, again, we have to prove though first, like if we don't get through the validation piece,
True.
We ain't doing none of this.
No.
Nothing. Not unless you're just like, I just want to shoot fun videos when I'm doing this fun stuff. Sure. But let's face it, if you're enjoying yourself snowboarding, you shooting yourself, that sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible.
Recording yourself.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, it's going to take time. It's going to take time away from you having fun.
Yeah.
Right? Because you still have to set the tripod up and video yourself coming down the mountain or panning the gold and explaining instead of you just being in that experience for yourself. So my thing is you have to prove that there's an opportunity there for you to be able to reach your financial goal if that's what it is. And I want everyone that's watching or listening to understand that. All right, because that's what we have to do. So we have to validate. We talk a lot about validating. Like once we validate that, we got to validate titles, right? Which speaking of that, we should give a little shameless plug here.
Yeah.
If you would like to get our titles, we have 10 free titles, our outlier titles, 5 or 10 of our best. If you want a copy of that, just put hooks in the comments and we'll send you a copy of that. All right. And it'll help you once you get past the validation piece.
Yeah, that's
of
the
the niche.
next step.
The next step is we got to now have some titles that are going to hook them. But here's the idea I had. What if you had certain buckets and the buckets were series? Panning for gold. Maybe it's a 6 video or an 8 video series where someone's like going to follow you along that journey, almost like a mini reality show.
Yeah. You're documenting what you're doing pretty much.
If you're going to go skiing, you're going to go skiing a bunch of times. Make that into a series. Or maybe the series is you getting ready for the trip, buying something for the trip, then going to the trip, then after the trip. Maybe that's part of it. You're just documenting and you're making that into a series. But again, I would want to do the research to see what are people actually interested in. Now, you may come back and go, no, I guess there isn't a lot of interest there. So, okay, you're the rugged retiree. So now you got to talk maybe more about like how you were able to retire or how you were able to reduce your expenses as a retiree. So this way here, you got to find a way in to get the attention. If we don't get the attention, what are we doing this for?
No, I agree 100%.
Right? So anyway, that is going to wrap up this question with Jamie. Jamie, thank you so much for hanging out with us here at the table. And if you guys are listening to this, you don't see it, but I'm looking at Jamie and an invisible Jamie. But I want to thank you for submitting this question. And if you do have a question that you want us to answer here on the podcast, then just go to speakpipe.com/live video school. Once again, that's speakpipe.com/live video school. And as always, guys, remember, we're here for you.
We believe in you.
We're rooting for you.
But you have to.
You must say it with me. Say it loud. Say it proud. Take action. Woo! All right, guys, pull up a seat.
Come on.
This is where we know that you are truly part of the Creators Lunch Table. And you're probably thinking, if you're here this long, you're like, I've never seen this before. What are these guys going to do? You're here. All right. This is when everybody else left the table. We're having our own little private conversation. All right. So here's what we want to do. Now that you're here, we want you to show us that you're here by you commenting one, or actually, is it going to be 2? Yeah, 2 words.
It's your word this time.
2 words.
I'm going to go with.
All right. I'm going to go with this one. I want you to put in the comments, take action. Okay. I want you in the comments to put in take action. And then we'll know that you're here.
So you're having them take action by writing take action.
Yes.
That's what's going on.
That's meta right there. That's what that is. All right, guys. So that is officially going to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us this long. And for all of you that are part of the Insiders Creators Lunch Table, we thank you. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Oh, and don't forget, take action.
Take action. Take action. One more time. Give it to him one more time.
Take action.
I
like that
one.
one.
I want to end.
Okay.
Take action.
Maybe I want to take action.
Take action.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Take action.
Take action.